Otherwise, just welcome to I Write Out Loud, the Unhinged edition. I was already thinking of calling it that because I was like, I'm in a mood today. And then all the technology just, completely borked out on me. So it's extra unhinged. I'm extra happy you all are here. Let's get weird. Let's get weird. First of all, there's a very cute thing happening right here, which is my dog knows that her a very beloved treat is in here, and she is, can you see her over there, desperately trying to get to it. So let's dump that super disgusting bone on the ground and let her have some fun while we're outside. Hi, Ms. Hughes. Phew. So could anybody see the whole first 8 minutes of the live that I was doing through StreamYard, but it wasn't hooked up to Substack, I don't think, or it was hooked up, but it was pointing me to an empty room? Did anybody see all of that? Just me? Let me know. If you didn't see it, let me know. But if you did see it, also please let me know, because I was brilliant. It was fine. But technical difficulty. You didn't see anything. Okay, good. So this is the first that it was live on Substack. I'm glad to see that because I saw me live on the homepage, but when I clicked it, it was blank. And that was disconcerting. So we'll forget all of that happened, and I will say, welcome to I Write Out Loud. I Write Out Loud is my home for creative nonfiction. It is where I write about what it means to be living out loud here in midlife, in mid-flight. That covers dating and relationships. It covers feminist political rants. It covers parenting, especially older kids like our Gen Z and Gen Alpha kids. The topic varies week after week, but the person and the ethos remains. That it is a strange time. We are writing our own rules in real time. So if you are not already subscribed to me at I Write Out Loud, which I'm guessing if you're one of the few people who have made it and found me with all of the technical confusions, I'm guessing you all probably are. But if you are not, I would welcome you to click the little box in the top left and just subscribe. If you have been thinking about becoming a paid subscriber to I Write Out Loud, I am running a sale this week. And I'm doing that because of my daughter, because I think you regulars know that for my standing weekly essays, I record them all myself. I do all the audio. This week, my daughter was a guest actor. She helped me voice the parts of the dialogue that she and her sister wrote for the essay. She's amazing at it, and I told her that I would slip her a little bonus for any paid subscriber that I got this week through her work. So it's 40% off. So that's a $60 annual subscription for the life of the subscription. If you are not already a paid subscriber, help give Nico a little kickback. Now's a Dana, I almost didn't recognize you without your blonde streak. I know. So that's one thing that's different, right? I was like dew all over red. The blonde was just getting. I didn't like how it was growing out with all the different colors. Thank you, Rose. I'm glad you think that she earned it. I thought she was adorable in the recording. But here's a crazy thing. I was recording it Sunday night, as I usually am, and my audio. I'm really bad with cable names, but it has an old kind of cable. So I need an adapter on it to hook it into my MacBook. And the last couple weeks, it's been kind of fritzing. Like I have to play with the cables. This week, it gave it up. Like the last 2 or 3 lines of the essay are not in. I could not get it to record. And as I'm banging the cables around and trying to fix it, my whole monitor just went like rainbow stripes all over it. It's dead. And I was like, what is happening? So I'm going to think about, I've been thinking about what's been happening. We're going to talk about that a little later about is routine serving me or constricting me? And I want to hear what it's doing for you as well. So that'll be part of our conversation today. And we're going to talk about the essay I posted on Monday about me taking my teen daughters on a speed dating adventure. Not me dating them, but I was the one speed dating. They were the peanut gallery in the corner. Much hilarity ensued. We're going to talk about that. And then I just, in the last 24 hours, have posted 2 new essays. And they're both different from my typical I Write Out Loud essays. They are not literary. They are rants, kind of, but I think they're funny and wise. And I was able to turn them around really quickly. They kind of flew off my fingers. And you know what they were? They were a ton of fun. And I feel like there's been fun missing on Substack lately. So the first of the two is called "Hey Dave, a feminist is not a less masculine man," and the second one is called "Where the fuck is all the estradiol?" So we're going to talk about those today too. And I think we're also going to talk about kind of the meta thing that, oh, thank you for saying they're all amazing, Rose. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. They're speaking to something that's kind of changing up here with me about how I write and how maybe being really rigid about standards and schedules was sort of a little stifling. Because now that I've been like, fuck it, and I've just posted a couple things, I feel like I've brought a lot of joy in the last 24 hours, and people seem to be responding to that. It's also very warm out. So even though it's 5 o'clock here, I still don't need this sweater. I am taking it off. Hi, Chris. I want a shirt that says "Suck it, Dave." I would wear that shirt, Jason. I would absolutely wear that shirt. And hi, Stacy. And what is that? San and Anselmo? I don't know that place. But hello, welcome everybody. Oh, you know what I haven't done yet? Hang on. Hold the phone. I gotta go log into my own live, right? Informal question, and I asked this when I did a spontaneous live yesterday, just midday, because of the whole question and dog tampon incident, which we'll also talk about, the Crone Castle and the dog tampon incident. Have you all noticed that attendance on lives is going down or up, or has it stayed consistent? Um, Sorry, loud car going by. Weigh in the chat, and while you're has let's make that a little more simple. Has live attendance? Have you noticed live attendance going up, down, or staying the same? So, dog tampon, you got me. Boy, Ms. Hughes, I got an update on the dog tampon situation. We'll talk about that too. But if you all would weigh in the chat with that, I'm curious to hear what you have to say. And oh my gosh, you're all are clicking the hearts already. But I was just about to say, if you all wouldn't mind clicking those hearts, that sends a signal to Substack to say, hey, there's something good going on here. Please, up level this to more people. So thank you for all the hearts. Cheers to all of you. Hi, Karen. I see you. My lives are very dependent on if I have a guest and who my guest is. True. I my experience anecdotally is that live attendances are lower. I feel like Substack in general just feels a little suppressed. And that might just be my point of view. But I like my both paid and free subscribers has been like no growth hardly this in the past few weeks. It seems like live attendance is down. Interestingly, when I did a spontaneous dog walk live yesterday, I think like 80 or 90 people joined, like probably more than will join this live. It's rough doing it this late in the day, but sometimes that's the only time when I can do it. So yes, and let me shout that out, Shayla. I am going to be a guest on Coffee with the Crone on August 30th. That's this Sunday, and it's Shayla's birthday. And I'm very honored that you invited me to be on your show on your birthday. You're not a Leo, but I feel like you're like, oh, we're just coming out of Leo season, and that makes me sad. These are the final days of Leo season. Been a wild ride these last few weeks. So, and that will be at noon Eastern, so 9 a.m. for me. Julie, I'm glad you think this time rocks. Chris says, have noticed some numbers down, others the same. Okay, that's helpful information to know. I feel like for me, I set I Write Out Loud up as my home for creative nonfiction memoir writing and set some intentional standards around it, including the look and feel. Like the hero image always has a certain look and feel to it. I record all of the essays so they're all read in my same voice, and they're all like pretty serious memoir pieces. Some lean a little more personal essay and political, but they all have, they are very handcrafted. They take a very long time for me to pull together and write. I have one that's been in the works for ages that I'm hoping to get through tonight. And that's what I write out loud has been. And it's been wonderful. It's been so fun growing it. It's now been 6 months, I think, right? February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Yeah, I just crossed 6 months of I write out loud this month. So that's exciting. But one thing I've noticed is just it feels sort of slow. Like there's a wonderful community that's here, but that the stories aren't really people aren't finding them necessarily. Um, and it's this I'm in this strange like mental space of where to go next and what to do. And there's just been this like word of like authenticity running through it of like in my mind of like how do I come on as really truly myself online. And so alongside the work I'm doing in Substack, I have come back on Medium a bit. I used to be super active on Medium. It was where I started as a writer alongside the whole Boost program. I ran a few publications. I was a Boost nominator. I had a great thing going over there. And just like so many of us, when they changed their algorithm back in January 2025, I went pretty dormant on Medium. I haven't paid much attention to it, but a couple of friends, including Karen, hello, encouraged me to get over there and start writing again. And I've been having a ton of fun doing it. It's all like really lightweight stuff, though. It's not meeting the bar of I Write Out Loud at all. So the worlds have been very separate. And I think doing that lightweight kind of listicle, political, this is what, I saw this in the news and I want to respond really quick kind of writing has like stimulated something for me that the two essays that I posted on the fly yesterday and today both started as Medium essays. And I was like, I feel like these are hitting a high enough bar that I want to put them on Substack. I'm not officially putting them as I Write Out Loud essays. They don't have the audio recording and they don't have the images. I couldn't get them up quickly if I did it that way because I posted the one today for work. Shh. But I was like, I have to get this one about estradiol out the door because so many women are like, where the fuck are my hormones? Why do we not have access to these? So I feel like it's been a good lesson in like I shared the one yesterday, the rant I did on a guy named Dave on Medium who weighed in on one of my essays with like, I'm liberal, but I only date conservative women because they believe men are still men. And I was like, oh, fuck this guy. I had to pop off on him. And the essay I thought came out really funny. And so many people on Substack have responded to it really positively. So I feel like there's been a shot of joy in shaking things up a little. And I'm saying all of this because part of that I'm 95% sure I'm going to do is I think I'm going to pull back from the rigor of I have to post a new essay every Monday. Some Mondays there may be no essay. Some weeks I may post 3 essays like I have this week. And I want to see what that feels like. I'm going to try that for like a month and see how it goes. The Sunday salon will always happen at the same time unless there's a crazy circumstance. But this weekly one, I haven't decided yet. I may it may be some weeks on, some weeks off, depending on what I've written or not written that week. I kind of want to just loosen the reins a little bit because I think I need it for flow and just shaking things up a bit. So I would like to put Dave. Yeah, Dave's not here. Thank goodness. I mean, actually, if Dave joined, that would be a riot. It would be a complete riot. Before we jump into the actual essays and talking through some of these themes, I would love to know from all of you of like, have you felt stagnated like this? And if you have, like, what are things you've done to shake shit up? Actually, that's question one. I'm going to say 2 questions. The other question is like, what do you think about all of this, or what do you come here for? Like, what would you be happiest with me doing with my work here on Substack? So I'm going to read comments. I see a bunch of hellos. Hi, Dar. I see you joining. Happy anniversary. I saw you just had a huge anniversary. That is so exciting. Mm. I'm drinking an extremely watered down wine spritzer. It's just sort of a splash of sparkling rosé and fizzy water, just because it seems festive and it's hot out. So I needed something cold to drink. You spent a day in bed binge watching Bridgerton. That's like my favorite thing to do in the world is to binge watch Bridgerton. I like which season were you watching, Shayla? I must know. I have my favorites, but yeah, Bridgerton is like my comfort show. I don't know what that says about me, but I freaking love it. Um, oh, thank you for posting that, Karen. I have the links here too, and I'm going to say, Karen, click through one more click because I don't know what that page is on Substack. That like interstitial page where it just comes through as a bunch of letters like that. If you click through the headline, then you'll see the full title there. So let's talk about this essay first. Where the fuck is all the estradiol? So this has been one in my queue for a little while. And it's the original headline was a little more serious, like there's an estrogen shortage. What is happening? And then I was like, nah, where the fuck is all the estradiol? It's a much better title. I have been observing this for a while, and it came to a head for me because my prescription ran out. And just so I think I'm pronouncing this right, it's estradiol. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's the estrogen patch. It's hormone replacement therapy, HRT, that a lot of perimenopausal and menopausal women use. It's just like a tiny little sticker that you put on your abdomen, and it slow releases estrogen into your system. I first went to my naturopath a few years ago and was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. My body feels like my joints feel like they weigh thousands of pounds. Everything hurts and I'm stupid as fuck. And she was like, congratulations, you're in perimenopause. And when people think about menopause, they think about hot flashes, right? Dryness and hot patches. That's what we always hear about. And I'm learning through my own lived experience and my friends, like that's how it manifests for some women. For me, it's joint pain and brain fog and dizziness. It's pretty fun. I don't get hot flashes. I run warmer now, but that's kind of nice. Like I don't get cold as often, but I don't get that like all ovens turning on, like blast of heat, like I've heard about other women getting, and I'm very grateful for that. But she put me on HRT a few years back, and it was like miraculous. It was amazing, and so I've been on it ever since. And then because I'm me, I tend to be pretty late about when I fill my prescriptions. I'm just like, oh yeah, I need that now. Click, click. Lately, I've been using Amazon Pharmacy quite a bit, and it works really well. You just click, click, and it shows up a few hours later, usually at your door. My favorite pharmacy, Bartell's, which is like a mainstay out here in Seattle, CVS bought it out, and then they shut down the one in my neighborhood. So fuck you, CVS. That was when I made the switch because I don't like waiting in lines at big dumb pharmacies. Anyways, I had logged into Amazon and it just said, not available, no explanation, just nope, can't have it. And I was like, that's weird. Where is my medication and when can I get it? And then I tried filling it at a couple pharmacies and I was like, oh, nobody has it. And so I went to a local pharmacy here in Seattle called Bob Johnson. It's been around forever and is like local. And it's a compounding pharmacy. And I called them and they didn't have it either. And I was like, but like a human answers the phone. So I was like, what's happening? And they were like, it's just out everywhere. And I was like, well, do you have any of the other patches in different dosages? And they told me the dosages that they had. So then I had to call my naturopath and then I had to input through the portal, like what existed and what could she do differently. And so she ended up prescribing a patch that's double my dose. And then I have to hand cut it in half. And so I was like, phew, I have it. But it was like I ended up going almost a week or two without it. And I don't know about you all. Do you ever take medications really consistently to the point where you're like, I don't even know if I need this anymore. I feel great. And then you stop taking it and you realize, oh, I only felt really stable and great because that medicine was working. That's what the estrogen was like. Because I was suddenly just like, why am I so fucking irritable? And oh, am I dumb? And then I'm like, oh, everything kind of hurts. And I was like, oh, right. It's because I was like tapering off of it. Like I was keeping the patches on for like a week instead of half a week. And they, you're supposed to change it twice a week. Anyhow, I had yesterday 3 different friends either text me or post to Substack or post to Facebook, like, what the fuck is happening with the estrogen patch? And I was like, all right, it's time, including Libby Grant. She made a very funny post. And so um, I I was just like, I have to get this out the door today. And I really love how this essay came out, and the ChatGPT created image makes up for both of these short stories. I just was like, make me the most unhinged image of this story. Because I didn't want to just use like stock photo of a woman being like, sigh. I wanted something really like clearly fake and unhinged looking. So mission accomplished. So that is oh, there's a lot of chatting going on here. Okay, bye, Dar. I see you're leaving. Um, Everybody's talking about how it's hot and oh yeah, waking up in a puddle of sweat. Thankfully, that has not happened to me too much. Joint pain and instantaneous volcanic hot flashes. Oh, Amy, I'm sorry. That sounds rough. Um, but yeah, I'm going to post. This is the link again. If you have not read this essay yet, it's, as I said, it's not literary, but it's like reasonably well researched, kind of giving the background and the why. And do we know what the why is, ladies? I think we all know what the why is, right? Because no one gives a fuck about women's health, especially not older women's health, right? It took us forever to get access to this medication for like 30 years on the basis of a largely debunked study. They denied women estrogen. There's plenty of doctors who still are. And I know not everyone can take it, and there are concerns with breast cancer and all of those things. So talk to your doctor. But for plenty of women, it works great. So it felt really good getting this essay out. I hope it travels far and wide. If this one resonates, I'm going to say this with all of them. If it resonates with you, I'd love if you'd like it, commented on it, restacked it. It helps people find it. It's the best thing you can do for writers. So, HRT. Does this country really want to see what a bunch of enraged menopausal women who have finally known what relief looks like being denied relief? What we're going to do? Like, rise up, ladies. I don't even know who to go fight. It has to do with nobody's getting rich on this medication, so nobody cares. Imagine if they denied everyone their erectile dysfunction drugs. It never happened, right? That's patented, and it makes all the pharmaceutical companies a ton of money. Also, wow, I just looked up. I don't think this would show on my camera, but it's spider season here in Seattle, and there are huge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spiders in a web all right here in front of me. It's rather beautiful and a little creepy. Oh, and then there's one dangling down. So that's 8. They keep the other bugs away. It's all good. So it felt so good to just be like, I care about this topic and I don't want to have to record it and make a big image and tie it into the time memoir style. The only memoir bits is that I quote my friends who are going through this. And I'm like, so I've given a name to these kinds of essays. I don't know if the name is going to stick, but for right now, I'm just calling them snacks because they're just like a little nibble of an essay. They're not like a huge, I write out loud caliber essay, but they still count. I think I'm going to add snacks to the top navigation on my page so people can find these essays. Although eventually I could see a world where I don't differentiate and they're just sort of all me, just some of them are heavier and some are lighter. So the essay I wrote yesterday, my other low-key unhinged snack of an essay I have right here. And it's called, Hey Dave, a feminist man is not a less masculine man. And I will let Amy says, seriously, the organized rage of peri and menopausal women could launch the entire manosphere into the sun. Yeah, I think it could. Let's make that happen, ladies. So, um, well, look, Karen and I just did a jinx. Thank you, Karen, for sharing that link. So, this essay is in response to a gentleman named Dave on Medium. And I haven't heard from him. I don't think I haven't checked Medium in about an hour. But he was kind enough to comment on one of my essays, which I always appreciate comments. I feel very lucky on Substack and on Medium both. I would say that like 95% of my comments are positive or neutral. Like most people are just, they're cool, they're fine. And Dave isn't like popping off on me and calling me a jerk or anything, and I actually put the screenshot with his name at the bottom. I think it's fine. His name is public on Medium if you go to the original essay. And the original essay is linked and it's a friend link, so anybody can read it. It doesn't even meet the snack bar. That's funny. The snack bar for Substack. It's just called 10 Dating Green Flags for Gen X Women. Very lightweight piece of just like, these are things that are green flags when I'm dating a guy. And it was me just being sort of happy and making a list, right? The first one on the list is his politics aren't a maybe and they don't violate your rights. And I state very clearly, this is what it says. I'm not interested in a man who's merely tolerable on this. I want one who calls himself a feminist without flinching, who's disgusted by the same things I'm disgusted by, who doesn't need me to walk him through why bodily autonomy isn't up for a vote. This comes up early now. It has to, because at midlife, this isn't a preference, it's a baseline. That's all I wrote. I mean, that's not all I wrote. That's what I wrote. It's important, but it wasn't like I was writing some like, bonker pants requirement. And lots of people wrote back, mostly women, being like, yep, feel the same way. And in walks Dave. Dave needs to let us all know how he feels. He says, I'm definitely left of center and have voted the feminist way in every major election. But this is exactly why I date conservative, moderate women. They still like men to be men. I'm editorializing that last sentence a bit. I like my men to be men. What the fuck does that even mean? First of all, I mean, I know what he means, but ew, 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 ew. And so I wrote this rant back to Dave, simply stating that being a feminist does not make you any less masculine. In fact, it makes you hotter, Dave. Men who believe in that women are equal humans with inalienable rights and bodily autonomy. I mean, that's just a baseline. But yeah, men who are just like, I'm a feminist, it's hot, Dave. And I very much doubt that you are very left of center. I don't know where you're calibrating, Dave, if you're listening, but I'm going to guess you're not really left of center. And if you truly are left of center and you still want to date women who are MAGA, I mean, you're saying moderate. Conservative and moderate are not really the same thing. So I don't know what your parenthetical means, but yeah, I still like men to be men, and the men who I date are all men, and they are way hotter men for being feminists. Sorry, there's no getting around that. And let me let you in on a little secret, Dave. There aren't enough of them. There are not enough of them right now. There are so many amazing women who would love a guy to be a partner, a guy to be a boyfriend, or even just a guy to fuck sometimes. But they're not going to do it if you hold these sorts of idiotic views. So many men are just unfuckable, Dave. So I think you're getting in your own way. I'm not telling you to lie to get in women's pants, because that would be, we'd way rather you just tell us who you are. So thank you. But also, like, reconsider your views on feminism, because feminism is the simple idea that women are humans an equal standing with men. Doesn't mean we're the same. It just means our humanity is comparable. I don't understand how that's up for debate with anybody. So that's what this essay is about. This one also was written very quickly and with a lot of joy. Like it felt pretty good to just post a like, God fucking damn it, I can't let this stand. And a comment is not enough. I have things to say here. So it felt like a really fun follow up. So hold on. I'm going to come here and look at the comments because I can see they're coming in on my phone, but it's hard to read them on my phone. Don't be a Dave. That's right, Courtney. Just don't be a Dave. Dave is so missing an opportunity. He is. I mean, Dan Savage famously says, the sex and relationship advice podcaster, that he's like, eventually, like, progressive feminist men are all going to need to be non-monogamous and have multiple women partners so that all women who wish to be sexually active are going to be able to be. And I was like, oh, God damn, that's so depressing. But he may be right. And it is the bare minimum. Let me see. For the record, Shayla does not make me wear a dress. The gimp suit is all she asks. Jason, I saw you in your feminist t-shirt and you look hot as fuck. It's great. Put on the gimp suit, put on the dress, whatever Shayla wants. Or just wear that t-shirt. It looks amazing. Yeah, exactly. No, Dave. Dave is defensive. Yes. So hold on. I'm reading the comments here. I'm sorry. Why would a guy that's supposed to be voting feminist want to date someone that's a MAGA conservative? That doesn't make sense. I call bullshit on Dave. We all call bullshit on Dave. Misuse. I am with you. They want men to be men equals they are willing to be subservient to me. Linnea, I like that. The only Dave I like is the one from Wendy's. Wasn't he politically bad though? I feel like I have something in my head or that he was problematic, but I don't know how. I don't remember. Thank you, Rose, for the keep it up, and thank you, Karen, for posting. I think that's the link to this. It's only the halfway link, so I'm gonna put this in here again. Oh my God, you're going to DM me the Leo woman pages from a strange old astrology sex book? Okay, send that my way. We've got a big comment here from Julie. Hold on, I want to read this one. You talked about structure versus creativity. I personally need structure in some areas in order to have the opportunity to be creative, but I do have spontaneous moments that just happen and I run with it. I don't know if there is a lag in Substack or it's just a busy time of the year. I haven't read as much only because I just haven't had enough hours in the day. Hoping that's why there's a lull. Dave can kick rocks. Beautiful. And I agree with you. I mean, part of the reason I have had this schedule, hold on. Let me see if you guys can see this. Can you see this spider that just totally moved? He's right there. Can you guys see it? Anyways, it was moving in closer. It's coming up at a diagonal. Spiders are coming for me. I agree with you, Julie, that that's part of the reason that I built the weekly schedule. A big part of it was so that you all would know where to find me, but it's also an accountability for me. That's why I'm putting guardrails on it. That like for the next month, I might post when things are ready to post. It's because like in the last week or so, I've just been a little exhausted by my own routine of like, I've got to get this done. And I didn't feel like the Ariana essay was the one from last week was quite done. I had to sit down with my daughter Sunday night and the thing was breaking. And I was like, why am I killing myself to get this out Monday morning? I mean, I know why. It's because I start my work week and I want to have everything launched ahead of that. But also like, there are no rules. It's just, I put that on me. I'm allowed to take that off me if it's not serving me. It was like a funny feeling of like, oh, right, I'm allowed to just say no to that. Let me see what else is here. What is he even hanging from? A web. He's from the, hold on. You're going to get a little dizzy, but I'm going to tilt this upward. There's like that above me. And I guess he's attached his web to that and he's like spelunking. And I keep thinking he's going to come hit me in the head. Eep. It's okay. Once spiders grow wings, we're all dead. Kira, oh, and you asked where Kira is. Karen, hold on while I'm showing off my little deck back here. Do you see Kira? I gave her a very special bone treat that she keeps trying to bring in the house. Like she buried it in the yard a while ago. And then she brings the filthy thing in the house. And so I've been hiding it in this very cute vase my daughter made. Isn't it cute? I just brought it out and dumped it out for her. And she's like, shit. So she's sitting in the chair chewing on it. Aren't you good girl? Aren't you? Do you want to hear the really unhinged thing from the week? If we notice strings wrapping around your face, who should we call? Oh my gosh. I can break free. And these are not poisonous spiders, but I appreciate the concern, Sharon. Oh, you're very funny. And I'm glad you like the red theme. I do like red. And yes, my daughter got really into pottery. She was taking pottery after school for a while. And I think this was it's a little slimy, but I think it's a gift for me. There's even the flower pattern on the bottom. I really love it. Okay, here's the most unhinged story from the week. I posted a note about this, but like I said, notes are just really quiet for me on Substack right now, so I don't know how many people saw it. I now live in a crone castle. That's the first part of the note. And what I mean by that is I live in a house that has a basement apartment in it. And for many years since my marriage ended, I have had tenants living in my apartment. Since I've been on Substack, really, for the past year and a half, or a year and a few months, it's been empty because my last roommate situation didn't end so great. And I've just been gun shy and I haven't been sure what I wanted to do. And I had my old cat who was peeing everywhere and all the things. A few weeks ago, one of my friends texted me and was like, "Hey, have you rented out your basement apartment yet?" And I said, "No, I haven't. Why are you asking?" And she is a writer. She was actually on the Daily Whatever show once. Her writer name is Diane Wilder. And she's not active on Substack. She was active on Medium for a while. But our daughters are best friends, and they are both about to leave for college. I have two daughters, but my older daughter and her daughter are best friends. And long story, she's going through a lot of life changes. I'm going through a lot of life changes. A lot of them are similar. And we very quickly were just like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And so she is living here now. So I've dubbed our house the Crone Castle. She is calling her unit the Crone Cave. It's in the basement. And we are it's sort of like the Golden Girls for a modern era. I was joking. Okay, hold on. That spider's getting real close. You see, oh, now he's going back up. Okay, good. But um, we're helping one another financially, and also we're having family meals together some nights. And she's been walking Kira because she has a dog also named Hank. Hank is very cute. I'm sure you all will meet him one day soon. And so she works from home, so she's been taking both dogs for walks, which has been so nice as I'm having to go into the office. And when I hang up tonight, I think I'm going to make dinner tonight. I need to go ask, but yeah, we've been like totally chill, supporting each other. It's been great. But here's the funny thing that happened. Okay. Oh, this is amazing. So, not last night, but the night before, we're like getting close to bedtime, and uh, the two older girls come up to my room because apparently the bathroom trash can has been ransacked by a dog. And they believe that the dog has eaten some tampons out of the trash can. And I'm like, Kira never does that. Hank has a history of doing things like that. And so she was sort of like, oh shit. And I'm like, let your mom know and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, we all go to bed. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I go into work and my older daughter is home and walking Kira and is like, I don't think Kira's pooped today. I've walked her twice and she's like licking herself a lot and she's doing the butt scritch thing, on the ground when they like drag their bums on the ground. So Oh, wait, did Lawrence join? Hold on a second. Lawrence, hi. Welcome to I Write Out Loud. I love that you're here. I didn't see you join. I just saw everybody being like, Lawrence, Lawrence, Lawrence. Lawrence, I'm telling a Crone Castle story of the 3-dog tampons story. So anyways, Ainsley is worried about, she's like, Kira is not pooping. I'm worried about the tampons. And I was like, oh, fuck, I almost forgot about that. And then I was like, she was like, yeah, I think she's trying to go and she's not. And I'm like, oh no, this is bad. And I'm at my office and I'm like, so I have to go to my manager, who's kind of new to me, and tell her, like, so I have a new roommate with a dog, and one or both of the dogs has eaten upwards of 4 tampons. And she was like, go home. So I went home yesterday, called the vet, who told me to call the emergency vet, which I did. And they were like, unbeknownst to me, fun fact, they were like, we can't even see a tampon in an x-ray. So there's not really a lot that we can do, especially she was having no symptoms. Then we realized she had gone in the backyard because it was a fresh mess and it hadn't been Hank. So we were like, oh, and then we saw, because teenagers are teenagers, one of them put another tampon in the trash can, and Hank was racing toward it. So we were kind of like, we're pretty sure it's Hank. And so I've just been monitoring Kira. And this morning I got a joyous text. We all did, and because we have a family chat now of the barfed up tampons in Diane's unit. So Hank did indeed eat them and has graciously vomited them back out. And so there might still be one unaccounted for, because we weren't quite sure on the count, but we're fairly confident it was all Hank and not Kira. And I just ordered and put in, now we have a little purple trash can in the bathroom with a closed lid. And scene. It's an unhinged week, you guys. And I missed a lot of work yesterday, and also was able to write that story to Dave because I was at home keeping an eye on the dog. Such a good time. I had asked which of you motherfuckers ate. Oh, yeah. The dogs, Kira does, I just lost you guys. Kira does have a history of eating the kids' underwear more than mine, but definitely is a panty snatcher. It's pretty gross. I have to reopen the live. I don't know. I just swiped and it disappeared. I may have created a new window, but that is okay. Clicking in here. Okay, I'm back. This is funny. We're almost at the top of the hour, and I haven't talked about this week's essay yet. But what kind of dogs? So Kira they're both mixes. Are you ready for this? Kira is an Australian Shepherd and Poodle mix. That's my dog. Hank is half Corgi and half Cocker Spaniel. He's very cute. And he's a little bigger than Kira, but he's terrified of her because she's like, bark, 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 bark. She's been kind of a dick. 90% of the time they're getting along though, so it's good. But that 10% of the time, if there's food around, Kira's just, I'll fuck you up. And he's terrified. Kira has been very good. She's just going to town on her bone over there. You have a shepherd. Oh, cute. Like a German shepherd or an Australian shepherd? What kind of shepherd have you got? So I lost the chat there for a few minutes. I had, so forgive me if I missed any comments. Go ahead and post them again. I'm now going to move into talking about this week's actual, official I Write Out Loud essay, which I'm going to put in the chat here. It's called "I Took My Teens to a Speed Dating Event." So this essay is from a couple of years ago. No, not quite. Like a year and a half. No, year and a half ago, I think. And relevant to the story, I lived it and wrote it right around the time that Netflix dumped all the Sex and the City episodes out for an entire new generation to watch them. And my older daughter inhaled that series. And I had never seen it all the way through. In the essay, I say I've never seen it all the way through. I have since watched the whole series through with my daughters, especially my older one. And Um, I kind of feel like I could write a dissertation on how Sex and the City is both incredibly dated and incredibly timeless, and how it's brilliant. I love Sex and the City. So that's the backdrop of when all of these events happen, is that it's happening as we're binging Sex and the City. So it's very front and center. And it opens with my daughter telling me, like, Carrie Bradshaw reminds me of you. And of course, I'm like, because that's like a great compliment from anyone, but coming from my child when she's like worshiping the show was very exciting to hear. I'm going to open with a question. Put a 1 in the chat. We'll do it simply to say, put a 1 in the chat if you have ever tried a speed dating event or something like it. I'm curious if any of you all have. And I'll wait a moment to see if any. I'm going to take a sip of this while we wait. Okay, we've got someone. Is it pronounced Gelsomina? Am I saying your name right? It's either Gelsomina or Gelsomina. Gel seems like it's probably it. Linnea says 0. And Jason says, nope, I did sloth dating. I want to date sloths. Except I don't. I don't really want to date sloths. This was an interesting experiment. So even though I'm a super duper duper extroverted person, right? With a lot of interests and always have been out and about, I rarely meet men in the wild, almost never. And of the men I have met in the wild, they've not been great. It's not like it was so much more authentic because I met them in real spaces. My now ex-husband, but the man I married and had kids with, I met him online years ago. It's simply like a bigger dating pool. But every time I re-enter online dating, the rules have shifted, and it's always for the worse, right? And online dating is lovely because it opens us up to more people. You can check things out at home, but it can also very much give that feeling of like endless options, no good choices, right? It's just, we're all so disjointed from one another. It's dehumanizing. It's all these things. And my friend Ariel Meadow Stallings, for those of you who were on Medium back in the day, or maybe y'all have seen her on the Daily Whatever show. We had her on a couple times. She's an amazing thinker, a lovely human, and like she's cool as fuck. Like she's just great. And she was like, oh, there's this like speed dating thing in Seattle. It's all word of mouth. And she had gone to an event and met her boyfriend there. And I was like, well, if someone showed up who was Ariel worthy, then I'm going to try this through the same entity. So you sign up, it's like $25. So I'm like, okay, a little higher bar, like not a crazy amount of money, but it's men who are willing to put a little money down. So they're a little more serious, which is good. And the event I went to was 40 to 55. I was 53 at the time. I was like, okay, I'm at the upper end of the range, but I'm in the range. That's fine. And the way it worked was pretty fascinating. You give them your name and a description, and then it's all text-based. Like there's a person somewhere controlling it, but there is not a person at the event. You you have 8-minute dates with gap in between over 2 hours. It was at a cafe. And before I get into all the methodology, though, here's the pivot that makes it an interesting story. I booked it in. I paid my $25. I was like, great, I'm going to do this. And then Squirrel forgot about it until the night before when they sent me the reminder text. And I was like, oh shit, I have my kids tomorrow. You know, my kids are teenagers. It's not like they're babies who I need to watch. But still, I was like, do I want to tell my kids I'm doing this? Do I want to try to outsource them? Like, hey, anybody want to take my kids? And then I was like, we were watching Sex and the City. And I was like, no, Ariel does not have that same boyfriend, Karen. Just, I think he lasted about 6 months. And so I told them what was going on, my kids. I just broed down with them. Like I booked this thing I forgot. It's in downtown Seattle. It was in a neighborhood called Pioneer Square, which is like a touristy old neighborhood in downtown Seattle. And so I was like, do you want to come with me? And I felt guilty. So I'm like, I'll give you money. You can go get coffee. walk around downtown. And they were like, sure, we'll come. So we hopped on the light rail because I didn't want to have to park down there. Took the light rail into downtown and we go to this event. The way it works is you walk into the cafe and it's not a huge space. It's not tiny, but it's very pretty and full of light. But it was pretty easy to sort of look around and I was like, okay, I think I see most of the people participating, the 40 to 55-year-olds who are sitting by themselves, at various tables. And I was like, I don't know if there's a lot of potential in here, but whatever. I'm here for the lure. I'm here for the story. And I was like, kids, you want to go run around? And they were like, oh, hell no, we're staying here. And so my kids sat on one side of the cafe while I held court on another side of the cafe, and they were texting with me throughout this event. And that's what the story is. And so, it like the kind of meta story of this to me is I enjoy meeting people. And so it was nice to have the luxury of like 8 minutes to get to know a person instead of it just being like swipe, swipe, swipe. It's far more human, right? That said, um, you only meet 8 people in 2 hours. And if there's no match, that's a very inefficient use of time, right? So I've done it a few other times. I think I've done 3 of them total. No, 4 of them total over a couple of years. Um, and I've never had there's never been anyone meaningful to come from it. So um, if you like talking to people and you want to take a chance, it could be kind of fun. But I don't know if I can endorse it because it's 2 hours to me. I'm like, I could have an essay written, right? This gave me an essay to write the first time, but some of the funny touch point moments from this one that are in the essay. If here, I'll put the essay back in here again. But that sounds like hell to me. Yeah, kind of. So the first two were really funny because they were two men who were grossly overstating or overextending the age cap. The first one, like I sat down, so the way it works, sorry, I started explaining that. Hold up your phone and you have to input who you are and what to look for. So I put like Dana, red hair, glasses, black dress, black boots, or Converse. I think I was wearing Converse that day. And so people, you look, so you get a description that was like, Jason, big feminist energy t-shirt, whatever it says on there. You look around and you're like, there's the person. And so I get my first one and I'm looking around and I'm like, I don't see anybody. And I can see people are pairing off. So I'm like, huh. And then I see this elderly man kind of looking a little lost. And I used to work with stroke patients, so I have empathy. And I was sort of like, hi, can I help you? And he's all like, are you Dana? And I'm like, excuse me? He was my date for the next 8 minutes. He said he was in his late 60s. That dude was in his late 70s, or he was just super rode hard. I mean, I'm pretty sure he'd had a stroke, like he was hemiparetic on one side of his face. He was definitely not 40 to 55. And I was just like, oh my God. So my kids are texting me. And then that round is mercifully done, finished. And the next round starts and it's his friend. The next guy is also like super old. He was a little more vibrant. And with him, I was like, you know what the age limit is for this, right? And he was just like, well, I like him young, as he's like leering at my tits. And I was like, oh my God. So I'm like texting the event planner who is behind the scenes and not there. But I'm just like, my first 2 matches are geriatric. These are not people in the age range. I still feel like they should have reimbursed me for that, but they did not. And then the third one who came up was like young and gorgeous, and British. He was so handsome and so charming and young. I think he was probably at like the earlier end of the band from the look of him. And I want to say he was an engineer at Google or something. I was just like, oh my God. And so throughout this, my kids are narrating with me and it was quite funny. What's interesting now, I see, Jason, you put a note of I'm over 55. I am too now. I'm 56. And so they no longer have any events for me unless I just jump on the to 55 ones, which are not even that frequent anyways. And I was like, yeah, I don't know that I would bother. I mean, men in their early 40s look pretty young to me. And I'm sure I look pretty old to them. So, uh, and like I said, it's fun. It's funny for a story. Oh, and then of course there was the guy, the very sensitive about his age man who later in the story, and he was one of the later ones who you get a prompt each time. And the prompt was like, tell me something that people like don't know about you or don't expect from you. And he's like, well, people are surprised. Like, tell me something that people are surprised about when they meet you. And he's like, they're always surprised by my age. How old do you think I am? And I'm like, I don't know, 52 or 50. I guess he was 53. And he was like, I'm 52. He was completely crestfallen. And I'm like, dude, you look your age. I don't know how to tell you this, but you look like and so I think I just said like, well, you look like you're about my age. So I guessed my age. And um, he was pretty, I gave him a big sad. That vain little man wanted me to think, I don't know, are you 38? You look so youthful. That's what I should have said. How do you even get into this event? You seem too young. But I fucked that up. Amusingly, on Sex and the City has an episode where Miranda does speed dating because she's looking for a date for Charlotte's wedding, and it's a little more old school where they like ring a bell, because it's in person. It's obviously there were no phones to do this with during the Sex and the City era. But she's telling all of these men she's meeting, she's like, I'm a corporate lawyer. I just made partner. And they're all just like yawning. And then because she's giving up on that, because all these men are completely not interested, the guy asked what she does. And she's like, I'm a stewardess. And he's like, really? That sounds like a very hard job. So he's her only match, um, for what it's worth. It's a bit ridiculous. Oh, and the last guy, the cue was like, what's the last song you heard or something like that? And I asked him and he was like, I really don't like music. And I was like, you don't like certain kinds of music? No, I just don't really like music. And I was like, what? Wait, what? I can't think of a worse match. I mean, I guess I could. Dave would have been a worse match. But you just don't like music? To me, that's like not liking oxygen. Like, how do you not like music? Anyhow, the next day I got my email from them and I had no matches. I had only put 2 yeses. The gorgeous one who yeah. And then I did put the guy who I offended by getting his age wrong as like, yeah, I'll put him down. But they both did not like me back. And so it was this very like sad moment of like, oh, and they wrote it in all caps, no matches. And I'm like, why are you shouting at me? So it was a misadventure in dating for sure. And at the end, I was like, you know what? I'm moving through time with my daughters and I'm writing and documenting the world around me. Like Carrie Bradshaw might always get the guy, and she also might afford all the designer shoes, writing 1 essay a week. The most unrealistic part of the whole show, but like we share a legacy, Carrie and I, of sharing our experiences. But I have my teenage daughters that she can have, so it's all good. Happy ending to be sure, and a very funny story. I'm not intentionally not saying my daughter's retorts because the essay is so funny because of what my daughters were writing me during this event. Lizard men need love too. Okay, Jason. Okay, but not liking music just seems wrong. It is. It's. Oh my god. Um. So yeah, at its core, this essay is just about. Well, it's about a lot of things, but the idea of online versus speed dating. Yes, there's more connection and it's more human. It's also, I don't know, what are the odds of like all of the like hundreds of thousands of people around. Maybe that's an exaggeration in Seattle, but I'll just say the thousands of age appropriate single men who could be around in the greater Pacific Northwest area. What are the odds that one of those eight is going to be someone I find interesting and that he finds me interesting back? In my lived experience, zero. No, I matched with one guy once and went on one date with him, but it was really boring and it wasn't a match. He was from Austria. That was interesting. That was really the only interesting thing about him, though. Oh, did you see my drinking problem? So that's my essay for this week. It's about oh, double booking, teens getting older and being able to like relate and be a part of your life, at least my life, more than they were previously. It was worth every penny of that $25 to sit and text with them. Hopefully they're not going to be talking about it in therapy one day with their therapist being like, my mom dragged me to an online dating event. And then she made me do the audio recording when she wrote an essay about it. But I don't think they will. I'm sure I damaged them in other ways, but hopefully this was not one of them. I see a big comment just came in. Facebook dating is sending you all kind of notifications. Wow. Well, good for you, Jason, getting lots more matches, Facebook dating is like, it was just sort of the cesspool for a while. And I would now say, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still a cesspool. It's completely free. And it doesn't, at least as of yet, it doesn't, what am I for? It doesn't throttle you. Sites like Hinge, if you're not paying, they only let you see a few people at a time, and it can take weeks to hear back when you write to someone. My most recent match, he didn't write back to me for like almost a month, and it was because he just didn't see my note because it throttles so much. Facebook dating is just, it's like old school dating apps because Facebook doesn't need that revenue. It's obviously got its own problematic shit it's doing, but I don't hate Facebook dating. If you're getting matches, especially if you're being transparent about yourself, like you say you are, like, go chat up some women. Why not? That's what I would say. What good does it do me? No, your son found his love on Hinge. Okay. I must be a fossil. I can't do the online dating. I'm still old school. I got to meet someone face to face. Online dating, I just can't anymore. Yeah, it's hard. It's emotionally exhausting. It's discouraging. It's all of those things. And also, if I just said I don't want to do online dating, I would pretty much not date. I mean, I'm trying. Yeah, I just wouldn't date. So it's just being pragmatic of like I just look at it as a data problem. I just need to open the funnel, so to speak, for people, and that's what's worked. So let's see here. Ooh, I see DeLuise, you're Pacific Northwest strong, just like me. Are you in Seattle too? That's where I am. I live outside of Seattle, and not only is it challenging to meet quality men, but often equally so meeting. Yeah, yeah, meeting up. It's all a drag. Just all a drag. So, um, yeah, I have the apps off right now because just a person of interest. So that feels good. Who knows? Who knows what will be? Um, but it is draining for sure. And I don't even know how many times I've gone through the cycle of getting on the apps and trying to meet people, like more times than someone like me was ever supposed to. So I just it's sort of like, ugh. So speed dating was fun for a break, but um, I think I'm good on that for a while. Open the funnel is a great way to describe dating. It's me using marketing terms, honestly, Courtney. It's the upper funnel. The more people you bring in, the more likely you are to convert at the bottom of the funnel. Oh, Diane, you've met somebody nice recently. Good for you. Maybe there'll be some stories coming out of that. I would like to hear them. Ever since following your dating stuff, I've been thinking a lot about how many dates I've never been on and ways to date I've not tried any. I realize not sure if anyone else has this experience, but I'm pretty sure all of my relations have been magnetic. Well, aren't you lucky? That has not been the case for me, man. It's always taken a lot of work to find somebody worth dating. And the dating has felt like a lot of work too. So, deep sigh. That's all I have left to say about that right now. Deep sigh. Um, Actually, I have one other thing to say that an ex from not that long ago, I just heard from today for the first time in a very long time, and that's sitting with me. I don't have anything to say. I don't have a big essay in about it yet, but that's was just another part of my unhinged week, I think. So to wrap it all up, 3 essays this week so far. There may be more because I have untethered myself a bit from my schedule. Sometimes there will be these little snack essays because people seem to like them. I hope you all have liked them. If any of these stories moved you, I would welcome likes, comments, and especially restacks to help get the word out. If any of you are not yet subscribed to I Write Out Loud, please click my name in the upper left corner and just subscribe so that you stay up to date with my various shenanigans. And if any of you are in a place to consider a paid subscription for this week, I am discounting my annual subscriptions 40% in honor of my daughter. I led by talking about that because she helped me do the audio for my I Write Out Loud essay this week. I always record the audio for that so that you listen to me tell the stories. And because this was the teens online dating or speed dating one, she narrated all the teen parts, and it was very cute. And I had to bribe her to do it. I paid her a little, and I told her I'd pay her a little more for any subscriptions that came through as a result of her work. So she's only 16, so she's money motivated and doesn't take that much. So if you've been considering it, this week gets Nico a little pocket money, and I'm sure it encourages her budding acting career. Other than that, tomorrow is Fucked Up Friday on the Daily Whatever Show. Lawrence and I will be welcoming Ellie Leonard back to the show. I cannot wait to catch up with Ellie. It's also her birthday this week, so we have 2 Leo women and a Pisces guy on Fucked Up Friday. It's going to be a great show. I'm not sure which story I'm picking yet. I'm considering the estriadiol patch shortage as my story because it is super fucked up that if it were any other medication, there would be outrage. But because it's older women, the FDA hasn't even actually stated this a shortage. But I'm not sure if that will be my story yet. Perhaps. So that's tomorrow at 10 a.m. on the Daily Whatever Show, or if you come to my profile, I will show us live. We would love to have you join us. Fucked Up Friday is always a blast. And then on Saturday, also at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, I will be on Saturdays for Sanity with the Mayday Network. That's with Julie Roginski and Michelle Kinney, who I love. So that's always a good time. That is they tend to run some pretty hardcore news shows, but Saturdays for Sanity is like the culture and chill out Saturday show. So we always do a job of that. And then Sunday will be Sunday Salon. That is at 1 p.m. Eastern. And that is my paid subscriber live, where we get a little bit more backstory. And it's just a great community space. We have been talking each other up quite a bit these last few weeks, and it has been wonderful. So I'd love to see all of you at any of those live events. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday evening. I'm going to go cook for the Crone Castle. I think I'm going to make I'm going to sear some chicken and a little quinoa or rice and make some Buddha bowls. That's what I'm in the mood for tonight with some sesame oil. Sounds so good. So I'm going to go cook that up. I'm going to be on the lookout for dogs vomiting up more tampons. Hopefully that's all done. And let me see. Oh, your birthday was the 11th. Eliza, happy birthday, fellow Leo. I love Leo birthdays. We only have a couple more days of Leo season left. I'm going to miss it. I always love Leo season. And yeah, happy belated birthday. You have the Pisces man Leo woman match page too. Oh, Jason, not a good romantic fit for me. In fact, I have been barred from dating Pisces men. It's all good. But friendships, A-okay. We're good because we're very different, but we can support one another. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I'm so grateful that you've been here with me this whole time. Love you all. Mean it. Bye.